Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Weeknights during the day.
Oh, you're telling them.
Weekday.
You're telling them today?
Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's
Mm-hmm.
hot as balls.
Yeah.
And we cannot be recording when it's 90 plus degrees. So we're trying to get ahead of the heat and still give you some heat.
Right. Mm. I will forewarn everyone that I have not had water. I have not had coffee. I have not had tea. I've had nothing. Just woke up, just raw dog in the pot. Just not even have not. So whatever you get is what you get, and you don't get upset.
You should get some water, but I feel you.
You know what I'm like? I did have a bit of water since I woke up. Yeah, I did, but not not a lot.
Got you. All right. Well, we didn't introduce ourselves. I am JD Nero, aka He Who Pods, aka Rearview Mirror.
And I'm Dash, aka Dashing D, aka the real king of R&B, aka Cool Grandma, but not really.
All right. So I'm really excited about this first one. Uh,
Are you?
yeah.
Okay.
So the writers of the Social Network film are back with the Social Reckoning.
Is this considered a sequel?
I don't know that answer, but what I do know is this shit looks good.
It looks very interesting. Yes.
Yeah. And our boy Jeremy Irons, that's his name, right? Irons? I know it's Jeremy, but is it Irons?
Gonna be strong.
Oh, where did I get Irons from?
I don't know.
Is that his name, Jeremy Strong?
Pretty sure.
All right. Well, our boy Kendall from Succession, that motherfucker is playing.
Definitely Jeremy Strong.
Oh, my bad. I don't know where I got Irons from. I'm sorry.
Maybe you got irons from like pumping iron because his last name is Strong. So maybe you just made some weird association.
Nah.
Okay, I don't know.
He looks good. He's playing Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, he's gonna do all the things as Zuckerberg, as
And what a
Zuckerberger.
cast.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, oh, they had me at the cast. I
Wow.
mean,
What a
Jeremy Strong.
cast.
I watch just about anything Jeremy Strong does.
Same.
I'm, we we are real Succession fans here, so I feel like you know
Right. And we were just talking about Shiv the other day.
exactly, and they're all kind of branching off and doing different things and really interesting things now. So it's cool to see that. I mean, Jeremy Strong has been killing it for a very long time, but yeah, I will watch. I even watched that weird Trump movie that he did.
It's called The Apprentice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I even watched that. I think he's great. So I think he's gonna be a great Zuckerberger.
Yes. And Bill Burr. Who would have thought that?
I know. I saw that. I was like,
So
oh, hey,
random.
Wilbur.
Jeremy
Okay.
Allen White. I said, man, this cast is crazy.
Look at you getting Jeremy Allen White's name right.
I mean, I know him. Nah, don't ask me nobody else's name in the film.
You don't usually know people's names.
I
You
mean,
literally a minute ago didn't know that Jeremy Strong's last name was Strong,
because I
which is
call him
why.
Kendall. I don't ever call him his real name.
Oh, heaven forbid.
Yeah, he's Kendall. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And now he's gonna be Mark Zuckerberg.
Now he's Zuck.
Now he's Zuck. Yeah, I like that they're gonna be getting into all of the legal stuff that happened with Facebook and Meta and all of that. I'm like really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm taking my daughter to see it. She needs to know this stuff.
Has she seen The Social Network?
No, but whether
I
she
don't think
does
she
or
has.
doesn't,
But I was just curious if you know that if the kids are watching The Social Network. That's all.
nah, I don't think so. I never showed it to her, so I'm gonna guess no. The other side, they don't really show her the kind of movies like that.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I think this is dope. And it comes out in October, so not even that far,
Hmm.
just a couple months away.
I thought that's what was happening. My glasses are fogging. That's how hot it is.
Definitely hot.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, I keep seeing this line on the screen. Anyway, yeah, this definitely is something to watch. They had me with the cast, but the trailer looks interesting also, and I'm actually surprised. I didn't know how you were gonna feel about this.
Oh, I love this. Yeah, I'm super excited. I wish it was coming out next week.
Me too. I also really love movies that are about things that happen in real life, but like
Based on a true story.
yeah, but like not. There's a lot of movies about things that happen in real life, right? But I'm talking about things like this, things that are very high profile, and like someday we'll be watching a movie about our last however many years, right? In some way, shape, or form. I always find that interesting because one, we lived through it, so like watching it in a dramatic way is just interesting to me. They're not always going to depict everything exactly as it happened, but I love stuff like that. Like I will
Yeah,
watch
agreed.
any like political drama type of movie or like anything that's based on like um an artist or whatever, you know what I mean, like those things are so interesting to me, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. Speaking of artists,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Lauryn Hill decided to speak up.
Miss
Um,
Lauryn Hill.
all right, so I'm gonna read Power 105's caption, and then I'll read what Lauryn Hill said.
Okay.
Power 105 says, nearly 30 years after the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, Miss Lauryn Hill said emotional exhaustion, industry pressure,
Mm-hmm.
creative burnout, and quote unquote the drain of fighting to protect her artistry all played a role in why she never released another solo album. Hill said people overlook how much artists sacrifice creatively and emotionally behind the scenes, adding that, quote, wild success can cause greed that begins to denigrate art for the money. She also revealed that after the massive success of Miseducation, nobody from her label ever reached out asking how to help her create another album. Even without another studio album, Lauren remains one of the most influential artists in hip hop and R&B history. And now, Lauren Hill's, I guess, statement.
Uh-huh.
It says, when you're inspired and desire to be principled, what doesn't get talked about enough is the drain, nor the challenge to find safety so that you can create with integrity. Most see opportunity as dollars only and often exclude the sense. The score nor miseducation were made because we were allowed, quote unquote, to represent what we did. We fought for every inch. Wild success can cause greed that begins to denigrate the art for the money. We're people living through all of this. These conversations should allow for more nuance. Artists go through phases. Creativity requires expression, exploration, and experimentation. There were people who hated the Unplugged album and yet Some today swear by its significance. I was like a Harriet Tubman figure in some respects, running to speak difficult truths to power before certain forces tried to close those doors. If it
Mm-hmm.
was so easy to do, where is that expression now on the world stage? Systems fear what they can't control. Creativity is potent when it's free. If I did nothing else, I introduced standards and possibilities to a generation that didn't know they could operate on that level before them. On that level before then. I
Mm-hmm.
am offered I am often doing things outside the support of the system before people can even realize what I've done. Another artist who values inspiration then recognizes its, all capitals, value and represents it to an audience then ready to receive it.
What do you think about this?
No,
I
no, no.
mean,
I just read
you want
12
me?
paragraphs. You start. Nigga just trying to immediately make me talk. I just read a whole essay.
I was just trying to be chivalrous. I don't understand. Anyway, um, I am so sorry. My
I know
sound
you
is
fucking
never
lying.
my my sound is never on, and you know why I turned my sound on, because it is morning and I have been puttering around, and
Oh
I
my
was waiting
god.
for you to respond to me.
Love
So
it.
I turned on my sound so that if I wasn't right next to my phone, I would hear it. I did not remember that I did that. I apologize.
That was great.
So that is literally the only reason there is any sound coming from my phone, is because I sent you a text and I was waiting for you to respond before we recorded. So anyway, um I I appreciate that she said something. Let me start there. Cuz
Okay.
I think that a lot of people have wanted to her to have this conversation, or at least have this dialogue. So I think it's I think it's a nice thing that she doesn't owe anyone anything really, but I think it's nice to have this conversation. I
Okay.
I also think that I can understand her stress. Maybe understand is not the right word. I can sympathize with the fact that she had the experience she had. There's always been rumblings about things that happened behind the scenes, or things that were going on with the group, or with her and Wyclef, or a lot of different things going on, a lot of moving parts that may have contributed to her not releasing another album. Um, and I have a respect for that. You have to know what your limits are. You have to know what your boundaries are. And if that was the line for her, then I'm going to respect that. Um, I've never been happy, and I've spoke openly about how she only made one album, and I had a problem with that. I did, because I felt like, she was talented enough and revered enough that she could have made a bunch more albums
Right.
and had, I don't want to say a long standing career. I think she does have a long standing career, but she could have had a different career, or at least there could have been more music released. Um, so I can understand that. And I think it was okay for her to decide that this is not for her. I think the bottom line here, the takeaway here for me, is that the music industry is not for everyone. I think that there are a lot of people who are willing to ride the wave, but I think there's a whole host of other people that we don't talk about that are not willing to ride that wave. And to protect your sanity and your peace, like, you look at some artists that have like gone the distance, or made whatever amount of money, or made whatever amount of albums, and there have been artists where we know that they are not happy. And a good question, I think, to ask is if they took a different path, would they lead happier lives? So if this is what she needs to do, and listen, I don't think it was a walk in the park even after not releasing any more albums, because she's still an active artist. She's still performing. She's had whatever legal issues she's had in the past. Like there's been, I don't, I don't think her life is any more sordid than anyone else's, right? But um, I think we can put it to bed. At least for me, I'm at peace with her saying this, and then we could just move on from it. Now, I don't expect Lauryn Hill is a very complicated artist for a lot of reasons. And as someone who loves her music and had the pleasure of seeing her live in the last few years, I still think she's a complicated artist. I still think she gets on my damn nerves sometimes when she complains about being late, or when she complains about people being mad that she's late, or her not showing up for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours after the time you expect an artist to come out. All of those different things that we've talked about. Um, I just feel like as a consumer of the music, you then have to move different. But I think that everything that she's done, and even the complaining and all of that, and put some respect on my name, and her like clearly trying to get people to treat her differently or react to her differently, I think that's all indicative of the fact that maybe the music industry just was never for her. Like it just, there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot of stamina that you have to have for it.
Right.
We think it's rosy. We think, oh, they're rich and they're famous and they get to go on stage and sing and do the thing they love and all of that. But the reality is, it's a job,
Yes.
you know,
Yes, it is.
and they waking up way earlier than us. A lot of times, they're working more hours than we are. Sometimes it's not to say that one is better or not, but it's just to make the point that I think sometimes we idolize people, high profile people, and don't think about the lives that they lead behind all of the glamour and the glitz. So I don't know. I'm at peace with it. I feel like we could put this to bed now. I'm not going to complain about her not making another album anymore. I'm just gonna. I respect your wishes. Like that's how I feel about it.
And let me just ask you one question.
Yeah.
You think she was the Harriet Tubman in some respects?
I purposely didn't acknowledge. I don't know what she meant by that, so that's why I didn't acknowledge it. Why did she think she? Did you? Are you understanding why she thinks she considers herself that?
She says right here, I was like a Harriet Tubman figure in some respects, running to speak difficult truths to power before certain forces tried to close those doors.
I don't. I don't have an opinion on that. Like I don't even fully. I hear what she's saying and I get it, like on the surface, but like deeply, I don't. I'm just like, okay, that's what you think that. I just don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know how to acknowledge that. I just hate when people compare themselves to like um historical historical people, because that's subjective. Like why like are there facts to support? This is why I didn't want to say anything about that. Continue, please. Don't ask me no more questions either.
Just one more now, I'm just playing.
No.
Listen, Lauryn Hill
Yeah.
is a lot of things. Lauryn
Yeah.
Hill is, yes, absolutely a trendsetter. Lauryn Hill is
Go get her.
absolutely.
Nothing better. Sorry.
You good, Neo?
Sorry. You started it.
No, I was trying to give her props before I say what I feel. I was trying to lead with love.
Listen, I respect that you knew that it was Neo that I was quoting.
Come on, man.
No,
Lauryn
you're the
Hill,
only person that I know that loves Neo as much as I do, because
Neo's
most
the
people
man.
wouldn't have gotten that.
Love Neo's music. Um, Listen, Lauryn Hill is great. Her one album is phenomenal, and I
Yeah.
love it. In fact, I love it so much that my daughter loves it. It's one of the first albums my daughter fell in love with because I was playing it so much for her. And I thought that a young black child needed to know this and soak it up, especially a young lady. And so my daughter loves the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill album
Wonderful
via
album.
me. Spectacular. That don't got shit to do with you not creating another album for 30 years. If you want to create another album, you could easily have done so. Maybe you had label problems. We know that. Maybe you had a lack of inspiration after all the love triangle stuff that went on. I can respect that. But what I cannot respect is Lauryn Hill putting out this bullshit long ass statement about the music industry. Yeah, the music industry is fucked up. No doubt. Yes, the music industry fucked Lauryn Hill in multiple ways. Pun intended. No problem. That still don't got shit to do with you writing songs. For the last at least 10 years, it has been easier than ever in history to record and release music. There was a whole SoundCloud era of people just recording, not even really mixing, and throwing it on the internet. We have people who were signed for big ass record deals and had careers that are still going on by this method.
Mm-hmm.
Lauryn Hill could record a new album right now if she wants to. She could have done so at any point in at least the last 10 years. And I'm being nice when I say 10, but at least the last 10 years. Lauryn Hill, stop. Please. Do not insult our intelligence. Because your core demographic is a conscious crowd, which means we are aware, which means we use our brain, which means this is ridiculous for you to keep acting like it was all the industry's fault and no one tried to help you. No one has to help you, Lauryn Hill. You only need a few things. Beats, which are free on YouTube if you really want some, a pen and a paper. That's what you need. I find it very hard to believe that Lauryn Hill cannot write, record, and release music. If she doesn't
Well,
want to, that's absolutely fine.
doesn't really
That
want
is
to. I
her
don't think she
choice.
wants to.
Then just say that. Because you
But
giving us this word salad about the industry and what you did and Harriet Tubman, yo dog, just say you don't want to do music and you haven't wanted to because you're still traumatized about the experience you had. We all know that already. But don't come up here and act like, oh, artists need inspiration and the label didn't reach out for another album and stop. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
I hear you. I understand. I understand what you're saying. Um, I don't know. I guess my takeaway from it was I tried to drown silence all of the fluff because I feel like she
But
talks
there's too much fluff.
in riddles a little bit. Not this particular statement specifically, but just in general. So I mean, my takeaway from it was, yeah, the industry sucked and all these things happened, and it made me not want to make music. So I didn't. I honestly, and maybe this is not the right thing to say, but I honestly think I don't think Lauryn Hill performs because she wants to, or because she likes it. I think Lauryn Hill performs because it pays the bills.
Sure.
Just based off of the way she expresses herself, is it wonderful? Is she great? Can she still sing? Can she still perform? Yeah, all of those things. But at the same
Yes.
time, I think it's a means to an end. I don't think I think the way that she speaks, like even to her fans, is it shows you that like her heart is not in it in the same way. Like I'm not even gonna use that example. But well, because the example was gonna never mind. I'll tell you off pod. But
You was gonna say like J. Cole?
no, I was
No.
actually going to use someone that I experienced recently and felt like they were like so connected to their fans and like loved what they do and like the whole fan part of it. But I realized that in even talking about that person, it would just create a complicated conversation, and
Okay.
I don't want to compare the two people. So I will say there's other artists who, I mean, you don't have to love your fans, right? But there's other artists who I think their hearts are just in it because they actually into it. Like they
Yeah.
like what they're doing, or it's not so bad, if you will, for them, or whatever it is. I don't think that I think she loves music. I think she likes to sing. Like I think those things are probably true. But I don't think she likes to get up there on stage and perform. I think she does it because she's good at it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And maybe that's wrong to say. I don't know. I've never heard her say it, but I feel like she's telling us like it ain't that sweet.
Yes.
So and that's not to diminish her in any way. I don't want it to come across as such. I don't diminish her talent or diminish who she is. Like none of that. I'm just trying to be aware of what she's putting out there.
I understand.
Too often we apologize for artists and we explain away the things that they say and do. Um, as just, well, that's just whoever, and whatever. And I don't want to do that. I want to acknowledge the fact that yeah, she's great, but also it's not without flaw. And this
Right.
could be the root at the root. This seems to be at the root of it.
Okay. I hear you. I'm just not buying all this bullshit.
I know, and I understand, but that's kind of why we have weeknights, so you could not buy the bullshit, and I could,
And you can
I could,
empathize.
and I could, therapize the whole thing. So it's fine. you know, ethos,
Yep.
pathos, we're that's us.
Yep.
You anyway,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Weeknights. Thank you for being here. We see you next time.
bye.